A next story, the pandemic has really shone a light on the long-standing shortage of home healthcare workers. Now, the Biden administration's new infrastructure plan includes $400 billion for home-based care workers for the elderly and for persons with disabilities. As the global population ages, what can insurers do to help address the needs of their existing long-term care customers? And how do you see them changing underwriting for these products going forward?
Yeah, so Abby, I think the long-term care as a product is certainly going to be something that is we take a very different approach on. Because if you look at the long-term care products right now, they've been quite tough for the industry. The projections for cost of care, medical costs, etc., have ended up being, I think, a lot higher than what was projected. And so what you see is most carriers have stepped away from a long-term care product, and those books are essentially in runoff, which means there's no new policies. It's just managing the claims on what was sold previously. What I do think will happen looking forward, I think we can look at the Asian markets as a forerunner for what I think we will see globally. And that is really three things that I think are very positive. First off, a lot more focus on preventative care, right? And so the notion of wellness, doing memory games to work against dementia and Alzheimer's, being very careful about diet and exercise and using wearable devices to encourage that. So I think preventative care is going to be big. I think starting early. And so you look at what is coming out of the Asian markets around all the traditional comorbidities, right? So diabetes care, obesity, a lot of these elements, there's a lot of preventative care being started and offered up early to really the population in the 30s and 40s to really be able to step out in front of the problem. So a lot of this mitigation and management of risk earlier on. And then finally, the long-term care product was a fairly broad product that said it would cover the costs of home health care. I think we're going to see much more specific underwriting for specific chronic conditions. So products that are particularly focused on dementia or Alzheimer's and caring for that, or caring for lack of mobility and elements like that. So I think we'll see all three of those start to play out globally.